Alright, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how and why I have a 4% cold email appointment booking rate, and on top of that I'm going to show you how you can get your own very successful cold email campaign working yourself. Now, full disclosure, if you're watching this video for a copy-paste template or a script, you may as well just click off this video now. This isn't for you because the fact of the matter is people that are looking for scripts aren't going to succeed. But if you are looking for something far more valuable, stick around in this video because I'm actually going to show you how you can create your own cold email script and then stand out. Because fact of the matter is, if I was to just drop my cold email script here, everyone would start using it, or at least everyone that watched this video would start using it, and as such the script would lose its competitive edge because it's no longer unique. Instead, I'm going to show you how you can create your own high converting unique script. So let's actually get into it. So I'm going to be going through some cold emails that I myself have received, and I'm going to be walking through what are good about them, but also importantly what's bad about them. But first, some fundamentals that you absolutely need to get right that will massively improve your cold email rate. So first of all, the subject line. The whole point of a subject line when it comes to a cold email is to create enough intrigue so that the person that is receiving the cold email actually opens it and reads it. It's not about, giving a preview of what's inside the email. It's not about trying to sell someone or anything like that. So as a very, very simple example, a great subject line that has always worked for me and worked for tons of other people is, question for John Smith, rather. The next thing you want to get is a guarantee. Now, if you don't have a guarantee, you're going to be basically shooting yourself in the foot. In a business sense, you absolutely need a guarantee. So what you want to do is you want to put your guarantee as top as the email goes as possible, because generally speaking, the further on down your email gets, the less and less people read it. And a really powerful guarantee that does a lot of risk reversal and basically presents the business owner or whoever it is that you're basically emailing with a really risk-free offer is a cold email that's really going to interest a lot of people. Next, and this is a big one, is personalization. Always put, for example, someone's name in the subject line. Always say, "Hi, John." Always, repeat their name at the end of the email, like "Thanks, John," blah, blah, blah. And the more personalization that you can put in, the better. Essentially, if you can record some sort of a mini video or put that in, that's going to be great from a personalization point of view. Essentially, whenever someone receives a cold email, and we're going to be touching on this in a sec with a few examples, if the person feels like that the email is just a bulk template that's been sent out, they're not going to be bothered clicking it. Because at the end of the day, if it looks like it's been bulk sent, chances are it has been bulk sent, and if you can't be bothered to put the time in to basically add a bit of personalization to the email, why should the person receiving the email put the time into reading it? It's really that simple. And this is the biggest one, probably the biggest tip I can give you is avoid the spam folder. Now, I can do a half-an-hour video on how to avoid the spam folder, but very simply, if you're making a new email for your campaigns, make sure you warm that email up for at least 30 days. You can use something like snov.io, free software to warm up those that email. And before you actually start sending those emails and start a new email campaign, you want to send some trial emails to other emails if you don't have other emails, friends, family, whatever it might be, and just see if you land up in the spam folder or not. If you're landing up in the spam folder, your emails aren't warm enough, you need to keep on warming it, or chances are it's already got such a poor sender's reputation that you need to start another email. All right, so let's get into some cold emails. So I'm going to be going through what this person did well, as well as what they essentially didn't do well. So, hey, again, very little personalization. That's definitely a big no-no. I hope you're doing well. I would like to discuss a business opportunity with you. It's just a nothing line. Like every line that you put in a cold email, you want it to be purposely there, essentially. Obviously, if you're cold emailing a business, you're discussing a business opportunity, like duh. And I hope you're doing well. It's like, look, at the end of the day, manners are something, but let's be honest, they don't really care. They don't know me, right? Why would they say, "I hope you're doing well"? Anyway, the email continues. We increase the amount and quality of traffic your website is getting from search engines at a reasonable cost to get your business in front of audiences. What he should have done is just delete those two lines here and just go on with this line. It's a very simple synopsis of essentially why he's emailing me and what he offers. He then follows and says, "We offer the following services at a suitable price: SEO, SMO, PPC. It's just like a nothing perspective. Again, he says, "We increase the amount of quality and traffic your website is getting." That obviously means he does something to do with SEO. That obviously means he probably might be running some ads and stuff like that. So this entire sentence right here, or rather, so little paragraph, is completely irrelevant. We can place your website on Google's first page. Again, if that's what he's offering, then fair enough. It's a good little line. should probably be joined into this one up here though. Say something along the lines of, at a reasonable cost, and we can, guarantee that you end up on the first page, something like that. We have the expertise to send hundreds or even thousands of customers to your website. This seems a bit vague, like hundreds or even thousands. You should be giving someone a very clear idea of what you're offering and what you can expect. If this is something we typically, say something along the lines of, we typically manage to generate, our customers or clients 5,000 additional website visitors per month, something of that nature, for example, right? You want to give a very specific, very short example of what you basically can help them achieve. Give us an opportunity to serve you. I assure you, you would like our solution and services. First of all, there's nothing wrong with confidence in an email, or rather a cold email, and you definitely do want to show confidence, but the whole problem with this email is, one, it does sound a little desperate, but they're already assuming that their service is a match for my business and exactly what I'm looking for. And then he follows by, let me know if you're interested and I'll send over some of our packages and costs. In reality, what you want to do whenever you're selling a business or a business owner on anything is you want to say something along the lines of, is this something that your business is interested in? And if so, would you be open to the idea of connecting later in the week for a quick chat to see if our solution works for you? There's nothing wrong with, basically saying, for example, like here, we can place your website on Google's first page. Again, it's like a sort of typical example of what they achieve their clients. But when you go on to say, I'm sure you'll love this, blah, 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 again, that might be, I might want the result, but how does he know that I want the actual solution? It's important to always end an email with, is this something that you're interested in? If so, would you be open to a quick chat to discuss further and see if you're a good fit? So there's some decent things that he's doing in this email. He's giving some sort of expectations of what to expect, results-wise, but everything else is not that great. All right, so let's move on. Next one, the subject starts with, accelerate your B2B leads and data growth now. The whole point of a subject line is for me to want to read the entire email. You're not supposed to be selling your service in the subject line. You're supposed to be selling it in the email. So that's very bad. No go there. The email continues though and says, hello, Oliver. Again, bit of personalization. That's always nice. I found your profile while looking into business that often needs support with data enrichment and lead generation. And I would love to help you enhance your lead acquisition process. It's very sort of buzzwordy. I've been looking into businesses that need support with data enrichment. Like, the fuck does data enrichment mean? Lead generation, obviously very clear, but essentially you don't want to, make yourself sound smarter than you are. If you're talking to a business owner that generally speaking is familiar with whatever you are or whatever it is that you're offering, but might not have the high level of expertise that you have, you don't want to be sounding all buzzwordy because it's just going to get them to say, oh, what does that mean? I'm not interested. The email continues, about me, I focus on B2B lead gen, data mining, list building, blah, 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 with a solid background in all this stuff. Again, when it comes to a cold email, you're not pitching yourself, you're not pitching your company, you're pitching the end result that you can achieve for someone. Truth be told, I don't care about you. I care about the result that you can give me and the result that you have helped your previous clients achieve. So this entire website, or rather not website, this entire paragraph I'd say is completely irrelevant. Instead, I'd do something along the lines of, the previous results I've achieved for my clients are blah, blah, blah. Again, like he goes on to say my process, things like email verification, duplicate removal, quality assurance. These are all things that if I'm hiring someone that does lead gen for me, I just by default expect that they have these things. It's kind of like, for instance, when you go to a gym and a gym owner says, oh, we've got, such a clean gym. It's like, well, I'd hope so. It's like, it's just a bare minimum that you'd expect. So this entire passage is completely useless. Again, I'm not too fussed about how you deliver the result. I'm more concerned about the actual result that you end up delivering. The email continues, would you be open for a quick chat? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's very good. I'd say that's exactly what you want to put in the end. And then he goes on to say, if you know anyone else who might benefit from these services, I would greatly appreciate a referral. Why are you saying that? You're supposed to be pitching me a service and me a personalized service at that. And then you're saying, oh, but if you've got some mates that want it, send them my way. That's not the point of a cold email. The point of a cold email, especially a personalized cold email, is to target your service directly to that individual business owner. That's not something that you want to include at all. And on top of that, as you can see in this email, there's no guarantee of the quality of the service whatsoever. It's not even mentioned really, apart from quality assurance. It's like, well, I'd hope you do some sort of quality assurance, right? There are a few things that he does well in the email. Opening line is fine. A little bit of personalization at the top is all right, but the rest of it's not that great. Moving on, the next subject line is ranking, ? This isn't too bad of a subject line. There's a little bit of intrigue involved, but at the end of the day, there's not that much personalization. I'd still give it like a 50% though. It's not the worst subject line, not the best though. The email continues on, hi, again, no personalization. I hope you're doing well. My name is Eric, blank last name. Now, again, I'm going to zoom into this to give you a bit of an example, but see how there's that little blue box there? That to me tells me that that name was copied from a Google Sheets or an Excel spreadsheet. And as such, that's why there's that formatting involved. If you can't be bothered to manually type out your own name, let alone the business owner's name, it just screams of a copy-paste template, and no one's ever going to buy you anything from anyone that uses a template like this. Anyway, the email continues, I'm from an SEO agency that specializes in blah, 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 blah. You can see that a lot of these emails have a bit of a common trend. They all start with, I work for this company that does this. The whole point of a successful cold email is you want to stand out from everyone else. Everyone else, as you can see, says, I work for this company that does blah, blah, blah. Instead, you want to completely remove a line like this, and you want to start off, say, the dude's basically marketing and SEO campaign. You want to start off with something along the lines of, how does your website rank? Or I notice your website doesn't rank very high. Is SEO something you're interested in? Something of that nature. He then says, we work with 800 blogs across all niches, blah, 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 and can help businesses like yours. The whole niche thing, I'd say, and this is again why you want a targeted niche, because it feels like a more tailored service. So that I'd say is definitely sort of something that's bad and off-putting. But the fact that he's worked with this many people, it's basically showing his experience. That's definitely a good thing. But then he goes on to say, we can help basically improve ranking, save time, blah, blah, blah. It's like anyone that runs a digital business knows what SEO is. You don't need to explain what SEO is. Again, maximize ROI. Like, if I'm hiring you to do something, I'd expect a return on investment, right? So this entire paragraph, again, completely irrelevant. He goes, how do we stand out? Instant access to 50 plus sample sites in your niche. Again, if he knew what my niche was, he'd be saying it by now, right? Free content revisions until you're satisfied. So that is an example of a guarantee, and we will come back to that in a second. He then goes on, could I share 2 or 3 tailored sites to your industry? So he clearly doesn't know what my industry is. This is clearly a copy-paste email template for many reasons, as we've already touched on. Instead, what I'd say is, I'd say something like, here are some sample sites that I've done for businesses in your niche. What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. Now, on top of that, we also offer free content revisions until you're satisfied. It's technically a guarantee, but it's the laziest, most non-risk reversal guarantee you could basically think of. It's basically like saying, if you're not happy, we'll keep on working until you're happy. Instead, something far more powerful is, we only get paid until you are 100% satisfied, raking it in with an SEO campaign. That's a powerful guarantee, and that's definitely going to get me interested in whatever it is he's selling. And he ends the email saying, looking forward to helping you scale your organic visibility. It's not the worst ending, but again, something that I do is I would have already sent those samples and say, if you like these samples and if you want to sort of hear, what I could do for your business in more specifics, would you be open to connecting on a short call later this week? Something like that would be a way better way to basically entice a business owner. And again, he ends this email with no capital. I'm not like that much of a stickler for grammar, so I don't really care about that. But as you can see, this blue, basically sort of a shadow around his name, it's obviously been copied from some sort of Excel spreadsheet. And that's just, again, if you can't even you should be putting the business owner's name in every single email. But if you can't even be bothered to manually type out your own name, or at least even save it in the template, what are you doing? That's just bad email marketing 101. And finally, the last email, hoping to help you out with your thumbnails. This is someone that emailed me about, wanting to do thumbnails for me, whatever, I guess. He says, hi, again, no personalization. Could be a bit more intrigue in that, such as, if I was, for instance, messaging or rather cold emailing someone about thumbnails, I'd say something along the lines of, is this interesting to you, Oliver? ? Like, if you receive something like that, like imagine if you received an email saying, if your name's John, is this something you would find interesting, John? ... ? you're 100% going to open the email. I mean, why wouldn't you? There's so much intrigue. You want to see what they're going to say. But anyway, the email goes on to say, I was wondering if you wanted help with the thumbnails for your videos. If interested, let's connect. Now, a short email absolutely can work because if it's, shorter, people are basically going to read less of it and more likely to read the whole thing essentially. But that's way too short. You wanted to start off with something like, I saw your channel and I like what I see, but I think I can absolutely create more value for your YouTube channel by doing your thumbnails for you. Is this something you're interested in? Something along those lines. So I'd say that line definitely needs more work. He then goes on to say, I'm currently working with such and such person with this many subs and also this person with that many subs. That's a great line to start off with. I mean, like, you're showing who your clients are. It's verifiable. You're showing your experience. And he then goes on to say, here's my portfolio. And he submits a little link as well as a PDF to some of the thumbnails he's made before. And I mean, look, the thumbnails are pretty all right in all honesty. I mean, they're not actually that bad. But essentially, the reason I didn't respond to this cold email, one, I don't need someone to do my thumbnails. I've got that taken care of. But essentially, you want to end all of your emails with a call to action. His call to action was up here. Like, if you're interested, let's connect. What I would have done is I would have said something on the lines of, first of all, I would have gotten rid of this. I would have said something along the lines of, here's my experience, which is great. I would have then said, here is a quick snapshot of my portfolio to see, so you can see the sort of quality of thumbnails that I create myself. And then I would have obviously attached this thing here. And then at the end, I would have said, I'd love to show you, some more specific details of how I can help you do your own thumbnails. Would you be interested connecting for a quick chat to see what I have to offer? Something like that, and essentially ending your email with a call to action, which is i.e., do you want to connect on a call so I can show you a bit more detail about this thing? So that should give you a rough idea of basically what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong with your current cold email campaigns. If you were curious as to what the best way to grow your online business is, a link in the description, check out that YouTube video. But if not, thanks very much for watching, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.